Rashford, I've been repping Rashford for a long time. Like, man, them know whenever I used to come into spaces last season. Hey, look where you're going. The way you're heading is abysmal. You know what I mean? That 1920, I know he had a great season, even though he had an injury under him. He could have carried on where he could have said to Southgate, you know what? I have an underlying injury. I need to work on myself. I need to work on my development, and I'll be guns blazing for the World Cup when it comes to it. Him going to that Euros just made him go back a year in development. It just ruined what he could have done during that summer, where he could have worked on himself, where he could have dealt with the injury, and he could have got proper rehabilitation, and he could have been coming out guns blazing. And and we know what happened in the final of the Euros, where the penalty he missed, and all the abuse he got and everything, where his confidence is already low after an injury. He still has that underlying injury. Plus, he got all the abuse from the country. Bro, Rashford was rock bottom, and it just showed on the pitch last season. You know what I mean? And the thing with Rashford is, it's so sad to see this, because Rashford was a very good player, top of the line, one of the finest products to come out since post Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean? To come out of our academy, Rashford was it, fam. You know what I mean? But with Rashford, his development just stagnated, and I feel like Rashford has gone to the point of no return. He's in his mid-20s. You know what I mean? The things that Rashford does. Bro, Rashford can't even. Rashford can't even go past players anymore. I remember I was watching him on Sunday. I went to the game at Old Trafford. He couldn't get past that brother from Ajax, that guy that Brighton signed, that old brother. That brother's like 33. You know what I mean? His development, he flopped.
With this Rashford thing now, so I would take the offer personally. I would take the offer, yeah. And this is the dangerous thing with that extension. I would only trigger that extra year if we intend to sell him now. Yeah. If we don't intend to sell him now, don't trigger that year. Because if you trigger that year now, or whenever you trigger that year, regardless, I think that this guy wants a new contract. He wants his future sorted now. So when you trigger that year and you don't sell him, yeah, you're now risking the player getting pissed off and just staying that year and walking out for free. So it's a dangerous territories when you start playing around with the extra year thing. Because these players, it's the same thing with Pogba. It'll be a similar sort of thing. So do we want the club now to be in a position where we've triggered it, we don't sell him, he now makes noises like he wants to leave, Come near the end of 2024 season, we're offering Rashford 300, 400k, but he still walks out the door or he takes that high salary. We just put ourselves in a more ridiculous position. And from a playing perspective, I think he's damaged goods personally. I think the injuries that he's had has taken it out of him. So he doesn't perform. He can't do things he used to. Yeah, maybe it's a mental thing, whatever, but he doesn't even attempt to do things he used to, innit? Yeah, so you need to let him go and just move on because he hasn't figured out how to adjust his game to still be as effective. See, if he'd figured out how to do that, then cool, let's keep him. But he plays his way. He's not trying to adjust it, or even if he is trying to adjust it, he just looks redundant. So he's not beneficial now. The old Rashford that you're thinking that might come back, and he's not coming back. He's not coming back. The injuries are just, that's the unfortunate thing about football. You get certain injuries, you're not going to be able to play the same way you used to. Like, it just goes that. It's either we end up giving the guy a ridiculous contract, that's what I think the club is going to do anyway. It seems like they're prepared a new contract anyway. And then we just have this guy for another 5 years and he's just redundant. Yeah. Or we let him go now. We just cash out. But also,
I started earlier, yeah. I was in the mood. I was feeling a wave. I was like, okay, cool. Rashford to PSG makes sense. I had my football fan hat on. I was like, yeah, this sounds good. But then you know me, man. I gotta being a Manchester United fan, man. I gotta be 90% objective of this club, and I just remembered, fam. I just remembered who my owners are, right? And when we sold Cristiano Ronaldo for 80 million, right, we replaced him with Gabriel Obertan, right? We just let Pogba. We pushed Pogba out for 6 years. We were trying to get him out of the club for 6 years, right? And now we let him go to Juventus on a free, and now we're paying Rabiot. We're paying Juventus 50 million for Rabiot. See, one thing that's consistent with the board and the Glazers, yeah, whenever they make big money off of transfers, everyone eats. See, the thing is, if we sold Rashford for 100 million, that doesn't mean we're going to get 100 million to spend in the transfer market. We might get 15 or 20 max. Half of it is going to go out in dividends. Another half is going to go. Another 25% might go onto the debt, or it might go into the women's team, or whatever. It might just sit in the bank with interest, whatever. Whenever these clubs, whenever Manchester United make money off big transfers, yeah, they don't replace. It doesn't get reinvested back into the men's first team. When we sold Lukaku, we bought Lukaku for like 90 million, right? We sold him for 70 million, right? We let a year go past before we bought Jadon Sancho. In that time, 90 million for dividends. So, like, I'm all for selling Rashford, but at the same time, I've got to be cautious because I know, like, even if we get 150 or 100 M's for him, right, that's not going back in the squad. What they might do, and don't be surprised if you see they promote Garnacho. That might be his replacement because remember, Rashford's an academy graduate, so they might not necessarily go out and get the replacement. Might already be there, innit? They just might promote another youth player, and just be like, yeah, I mean, he was an academy graduate. We didn't pay anything for him, so we'll just let the next one go through, and that's it. I mean, Rashford, he's not like he's an integral part to the squad anyway, so they might just do that. Same with Rashford should be dropped for him anyway. Like, I see people saying Alanga's better than him anyway. If we start promoting these and gassing up these graduates, that might be the Rashford replacement. And that 150 million, it might go towards the stadium development. It might go down to pay the debt. It might go to the women's team.